Assalamu alaikum. My name is Anafros and my roll number is BP1650261 and my group number is 8. My topic is primary dysmenorrhea. Dysmenorrhea is also known as a painful period or menstrual cramp, and it is a pain which is occur during the menstruation. It is usual onset occur around the time of the menstruation begin. Its signs and symptoms of dysmenorrhea is the pain is concentrated in the lower abdomen or the pelvis. It is commonly felt in the right and the left side of the abdomen. It may radiate to the thigh or the lower back. It is classified into two main categories, primary or secondary based. And primary dysmenorrhea occurs without an associated underlying condition, while secondary dysmenorrhea has a specific underlying causes, typically a condition that affects the uterus or other reproductive organs. Now come to the main topic, which is primary dysmenorrhea. Primary dysmenorrhea is commonly referred to as the menstrual cramp, is defined as the pain occurring in the lower abdomen before or during the menstrual cycle. It is in the absence of any pelvic pathology, example endometriosis. It is the 90% primary dysmenorrhea is by far the most common gynecological problem. It is also leading the cause of the recurrent abstinence from the school or the work in the adolescent girls and the young women. Despite resulting in activity limitation, most women suffer silently and fail to report these symptoms. In fact, of the more healthcare provider. The clinical representation of the primary dysmenorrhea usually present at the age of adolescence within the 3 year of the menarche. However, it is unusual for the symptom to start within the first 6 months after menarche as it is a sync with the female ovulatory system. Females suffering from the dysmenorrhea may experience sharp or intermittent spans of the pain, usually centered in the suprapubic lower abdomen area. Pain may radiate into the lower back or inner aspects of the thigh. Pain usually begins a few hours before or at the onset of the menstrual flow, reaching a peak when flow becomes the heaviest at the day 1 or day 2 of the cycle of the menstruation. The severity of the pain usually lasts for a few hours but may extend up to a duration of 24 to 36 hours. This is consistent with when there is a maximal prostaglandin release in the menstrual fluid during menstruation. The etiology of the primary dysmenorrhea is thought to be caused by excessive level of the prostaglandin, which are the hormones that stimulate the uterus to contract during the menstruation and the childbirth. It has been found that women with dysmenorrhea have the higher level of the prostaglandin in their menstrual fluid than the women who do not experience the severe pain. Management of the primary dysmenorrhea are pharmacological treatment, and this we can give NSAID non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drug along with the oral contraceptives helps to relieve the symptoms of the primary dysmenorrhea by decreasing the excessive level of the prostaglandin during the menstruation. The non-pharmacological treatment or exercise, several studies have reported that beneficial effect of the exercise, including stretching, aerobics exercise, example jogging, yoga, Kegel exercise to treat the primary dysmenorrhea. The stretching exercise helps a lot to reduce the pain that radiates into the lumbar areas and the adductor. Kegel exercise may also help to increase the local blood supply to the uterus, allowing for the rapid elimination of the prostaglandin and a decreased intensity of the menstrual pain. Now, the case study, a 27-year-old woman is seen in the primary care clinic because of the severe abdominal pain to her menstrual period. She reports having a free menstrual period only once or twice yearly. She has been diagnosed as a primary dysmenorrhea with no other gynecological pathology being found. How should patients' menstrual pain should be treated? Subjective. Age is 27-year-old, gender is female, objective is severe abdominal pain secondary to her menstrual period, pain-free menstrual period only once or twice early. Diagnostic data, she has been diagnosed with a primary dysmenorrhea with no other gynecological pathology. Assessment. Primary dysmenorrhea is also associated with an increase in endometrial or circulatory prostaglandin. Thus, NSAID, which alter the production of the prostaglandin, are frequently used to manage the primary dysmenorrhea. The dosage required for the treatment of the primary dysmenorrhea usually are higher than those for the analgesic. but frequently a single dose is sufficient to terminate the dysmenorrhea pain. On some occasions, frequent high doses may also require. The best time to initiate an NSAID remains controversial. Some clinical recommends beginning drug therapy a few days before the start of the menstruation. Others argue that the prostaglandins are not stored and therefore prefer to initiate drug therapy only after the start of the menstruation. Pre-treatment with NSAID carries the risk of the fetal drug exposure during the early pregnancies. Studies comparing pre-treatment with the dosing and the onset of menses show no difference in the analgesia between either of the regimen. Plan non-pharmacological treatment. Firstly, we have to change our lifestyle, change in the diet, change in low-fat diet, and digestion of the beans, seeds, fruits, vegetable allow a decreased symptom of dysmenorrhea. Besides, physical exercise also decreases the dysmenorrhea. General benefit of the exercise reported in women younger than 25 years of age who exercise at least 45 to 60 minutes 3 times a day. Implementing a healthy lifestyle with proper nutrition, exercise, no smoking, smoking suggestion should be omitted, and a low alcohol consumption elevates the symptom of dysmenorrhea and minimizes discomfort and inconvenience. Some studies show lack of evidence of any dietary supplement to reduce dysmenorrhea and also the lack of the safety data of these products. Topical heat is also most popular. Consider the direct application of the heat in the suprapubic region. It is an effective and low cost natural method. Now, the pharmacological treatment, as discussed earlier, we give NSAIDs should be instructed to take 600 to 800 milligram of ibuprofen at the onset of the menses or when discomfort begins. Repeat dosage of 400 to 600 milligram may be taken every 4 to 6 hours as needed as the condition of the pain. If this regimen is ineffective, she can take the first dose 1 to 2 days before the first day of the menstruation is expected. Oral contraceptives also use combined oral contraceptive estrogen and progestin. This is the second line of the treatment acting to suppress the ovulation and endometrial growth by causing a decrease in the menstrual volume and prostaglandin secretion with a subsequent decrease in intrauterine pressure and uterine contractility. Note: primary dysmenorrhea is one of the most common illness in the women of the childbearing age and work when severe it may interfere with the activities of the daily living and may lead to the history normal physical examination and absence of pelvic disease. Its management concerns the patient education, reassurance, and support. Pharmacological treatment is very effective and includes NSAID or the hormonal contraceptive for the women who do not wish to become a pregnant. Women do not respond to the treatment after 3 months of the use should be investigated for suspected secondary dysmenorrhea. Primary dysmenorrhea is also one of the most underdiagnosed disease, so clinical should suspect the diagnosis in a timely manner and provide the appropriate treatment. Thank you.